Shalom, Yashrala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that we will. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson, which is dealing with, how we say it, Jacob's trouble. We know it as Jacob's trouble that's coming around the corner, but like with these movies like The Purge and things like that, a lot of people are drawn to those movies and things. But nevertheless, if you sit back and you look with a spiritual eye, the way that things are being set up, this whole thing is being set up for the perfect storm to, erupt into Jacob's trouble. All right. You have a lot of laws being changed and things like, for one, they are creating the uprisings and the protests around the world. A lot of these things are, these things aren't quote unquote organic. All right, because the majority of these people are all docile. They know that they're getting screwed over from top to the bottom by their government. They don't really give a damn. They just, all right, what it is. But you'll have these provocateurs, Asian provocateurs, pretty much come and set up movements and things like that and rally up the people. And the people will go out there and quote unquote protest, and then you have the cops on the other end. All right, and they'll start pushing back. And this is problem, reaction, solution. All right, so they can bring in more of a militant reaction, all right, and change laws. And so, like, one of the laws that you've seen them pass was, for the protesters, they can pretty much run these protesters over. If they're out there protesting and the cars roll up, the protesters surround the car or something like that. They now gave the not the protesters, the people in the cars, basically the rights to run over the protesters. All right, now what do you think? This is a recipe designed for disaster. All right. You have people out there protesting. All right. Then you have a sense where people, you got to think about how some of these things are set by design. Right. Let's just say you have let's say maybe a Black Lives Matter protest. Right. Or a protest for the police to stop shooting Jake. Right. And then all of a sudden, you bring in a bunch of these so-called Proud Boys or Trump supporters, and they're riding around with their trucks. If you get these two crowds together, that there's going to be a battle of the bands, more or less to say. All right. So these things are controlled opposition just for these things to happen. All right. But nevertheless, like I said, when you sit back and you look, whether it be, the laws pertaining to running over the protesters, all right, food shortages, all right, the jobs and things like that shutting down or closing down because, the lack of funds. All right. Places like New York passing laws to mandate everybody, pretty much participate in this thing, all your employers or all your employees and all your customers, So as a business owner, this is going to, not every business owner is actually for these things. So he's looking at it now. Damn, you taking away my livelihood. Now I'm upset with the government. We got a backlash against the government, right? You have a lot of these things that are pushing like this, and not to mention the shortages of a lot of things, which is causing the prices of things to go up, so as we'll get, where there's a lack of bread, people start getting uncomfortable and they go into survival mode, right? So as you look back and you see all these things, you also have laws, I believe, out in California, where it's like, basically, you can commit a crime up to like $900. Like if you steal something that's less than $900, they're not even going to call the police on you, So, hey, they're basically telling them, here's a green light, just like in the movie The Purge. They say, look, these, certain laws are void at this point in time. You can go out and be lawless if you want. You have the depolicing zones or whatever they call them. So these things like that are all, recipes or ingredients put into this here recipe for, all-out battle royale. All right. And, they're scaring people into taking their guns. So people say, hey, you're going to have to, take my guns out of my hands, or you're going to have to, before I take a shot, you're going to have to take a shot. I seen an Edomite, a proud-ass Edomite on the video saying that, he had his sword out, you know what I'm saying you're not going to prick me, but I'm going to get you beforehand, So all these things are setting up for everybody to be at each other's throats, all right? Whether you for Trump, Biden, Black Lives Matter, for the police lives, all these different things is putting everybody at odds ends with each other, all right? But these would be the things and the signs of the end times, all right? So let's just jump into it, all right? This is Matthew chapter 24. None of these scriptures are in any particular order, just kind of flowing through the spirit, but nevertheless, we have a blueprint, of the events to come, all right? And as we're watching, all right, watching the news and things like that, we're seeing how these things are being set up to pretty much play out, all right? This is Matthew 24. I'm going to start at verse 21. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. All right. And going into these things, you've always had protests, uprisings, and things like that, wars and all these things, but not to this here level, man. You have, you could have in one country 4 different protests about, 4 different things, whether it be climate change, the anti-lockdowns, the Vicky, people that's against Vicky. All right. You may have, a protest with, people, how I say with, just the mandates of a lot of different things. They feel like they're being treated unfairly. All right. So, all these different things are causing people to rouse up, and this is a global thing that's going on. All right. It's not just in one small area or just one topic that they're so-called rallying and protesting over, man. All right. So these tribulations, not just that you have, again, the threat of getting ill. All right. An economic collapse going on around the globe. All right. Shortages going around the globe as well, too. All right. You have the people that are renting, right, or renters. All right. They're being told, because their jobs have been taken away, they don't have to pay rent. Well, people that they're renting from own these properties. All right. And the people that hold their loans are asking for money. So now you're bankrupting these people, and these people are looking down at these renters. It's like, man, this ain't fair. These folks have these types of rights to be able to do this. It's just the low class, and it's putting a perspective into these people's minds. So now everybody's at each other's throat. All right. And, the love of many is waxing cold, which that's also in the same chapter. All right. But nevertheless, you have people that's in road rage, these Karens that are bugging out all over the place, man. All right. Don't film me. Don't film me. So people are already on edge about a lot of different things, man. So all it takes is one big major catalyst to set this domino effect off. And then there you go. You have, basically everybody at each other's throat. But the things are going to intensify. All right. Let me read this just to back up that point. Verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there shall be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So ultimately, the Lord is going to be bringing these prophecies to come to pass a lot faster. All right, because we're coming to a boiling point, and at any point in time, basically this thing could just erupt. All right, so ultimately, instead of just stalling out these prophecies, the Most High is actually quickening these prophecies coming to pass, man. All right, so let me go from there to matter of fact, let me grab where's that at? Let me grab this in Daniel. Well, actually, this wasn't what I was looking for. But this goes into it as well, too. But this is Daniel 8:25. Yep. So this is, there's nothing new under the sun. The things that happened before is going to come back on around again. All right. It says, and through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. All right. And shall magnify himself in heart, and by peace shall destroy many. All right. Going into a lot of different things, whether it be on this medical situation, as this go around, but nevertheless, also through policy, he shall cause craft to prosper. Like I said, decriminalizing theft, under $900. All right. Enabling you to run over the protesters and things like that, man. All right. And all these different things like that, are giving way. How do I say, for, all these so-called all-out, all-out warfare, more or less to say, Jacob's Trouble, all-out battle royale, These cops feel like they're threatening on a lot of different things. We're seeing that they have, the so-called quote-unquote right to just start spraying first and asking questions later, man. All right. And, you have a lot of people that are pretty much out of this here, how do I say, out of this here spirit. It's like, what, I'm going to have to get you before you get me. You see a lot of people that are reacting like that nowadays, man. All right. And again, you have these Karens that are popping up. All right. Because they know that they can call the police and have you pretty much killed by the police. All right. But then again, you having Jake to say, hey, we getting tired of this stuff, man. All right. So you see, both sides being amped up. But then now, again, they're pushing for laws to justify a lot of these things from happening, man. All right. For those who don't want to participate medically, all right, they're mandating that these things happen. Or, we're going to go door to door, knocking on doors, and we're going to put you in a car and take you down there and force you to get these things, Well, then you have these Americans that are saying, oh, shit, over my cold, dead body. All right. So this is a recipe for disaster, man. All right. Especially with a lot of these damn Edomites that strapped to the teeth. All right. They're going to be the first ones to pull their swords out and fight to the death. All right. let me read it again. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. All right, because this is what they're saying. We did these things to help out and to save the world and do all these things, but nevertheless, ultimately it's being the devil and taking peace and life from the earth. All right. It says, and he shall stand up against the prince of princes, and he shall be broken without hand. All right. But nevertheless, the point is they're coming up with these new different laws or amendments and things like that to cause more strife. Like I said, they telling the people, oh, because we have the pandemic going on, we know that you guys lost your jobs and you can't afford to pay rent, so we're going to hold off on your rent, for 18 months or whatever like that. And again, like I said, the people that are renting to these people, all right, they can't, they have a loan, they took out a loan to rent to these folks anyway, so they can't sustain not paying their loans back that far, and not getting, payments for those things. And they also in certain places have anti-squatter laws, or you can't evict people even if they are squatting. It's a hard drawn out process. So hey man, just imagine that you got somebody that's squatting in your house and you trying to rent your house out, but you got this person in and you can't get them out, man. You be moved to try to go do something to them, man. How much more these people that's over here on Instagram and Facebook posting up all their PPP money, they stimulus checks, and not paying rent, out here balling out, while the renters over here looking at them like, bro, I need my money because I can't feed my kids, and now they feeling a certain type of way, wanting to go over there and do something to their renters, man, so they can re-rent these homes out, man. All right, but nevertheless, it's these laws. You go out there protesting and your pride, want to stand up for your people, but then you really hate what's going on with these people are protesting and standing for. So you want to go out there and, maybe you get surrounded and people are starting to beat on your car because maybe you have a bumper sticker or a flag on your car that represent the opposite views. Now they start surrounding your car. You quote unquote use the term, oh, I fear for my life. And you start running these people over, man. All right, what do you think is going to happen, man? All right. We already seen how it goes down when they bring out the hyper militarized police and these people out here protesting. All it takes is, and we've seen how they was doing it for the Black Lives Matter protest. They had the Asian provocateurs in there, one or two people set up these agents to throw a rock, all right, and then bring the militarized police down on them, and then just start boxing everybody in, man. All right, these are all things foreshadowing the things to come, man. All right, because sooner or later, it's gonna, basically it's not gonna have, you're not gonna have your normal 911 that you can just call, man. All right, we already have, glimpses of these things now, whether you have a non-police zone. I already telling you, look, man, for these certain crimes, don't call us. Even with, back when they started doing lockdowns for a brief amount of time, they was like, look, man, if it ain't nobody getting murdered out there, don't call us on your little regular petty shit, because we got bigger things to worry about right now, man. All right, so how much more when, things are really starting to pop off, man. All right, when things get a lot more hotter and a lot more heavier, all right? Let's go from there to, you know what? Let me, oh, Slot, give me a second. I need to go. Give me a second. Matter of fact, let me grab this here precept first real quick. In Isaiah 19, then we're going to grab some stuff out of the Apocrypha. Isaiah 19 and verse 2, it says, and I will set Egyptian against Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right, and so like when you watch like the movies The Purge and things like that, it's pretty much like a quote unquote balancing act. And once you see the newest one, I think it's called The Forever Purge. I'm not even quite sure what was the circumstance for why they was not giving it away and spoiling the movie, but technically the Purge just kept going on. Normally they would have, I think it was a 12 or 24-hour period of them purging and things like that, but then this one just continuously goes on. All right, now when you think about this is here society, everybody's looking for things to go back to quote unquote normal. All right, things to go back to a pre or 2018 type of lifestyle and things like that. But we see now, we already was telling you, according to prophecy, but we see now things ain't going back to normal, man. This is the new norm. You have to living off of scarcity and everybody, living in this type of state of mind. So everybody's still going to be on edge on a lot of these different things, man. All right. And as you see, people can't get to certain things that they would normally get, especially with, money getting short, whether it be medicines or their drugs, their alcohol, especially with a lot of people losing their jobs, a lot of people moving out or getting forced to move out, and people just living in a certain type of way. All right. This is going to start turning up, the envy, the strife and the hatred between, people that you see, people that you just see and that maybe you just don't fuck with them for a petty ass small reason. Maybe it's a coworker you work with, and his coworker is always I don't know, leaving his food in a break room or something petty like that, right? But then now, you're already stressed out about, man, they got these mandates at the job. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be working here. I'm about to get evicted. They said I can't send my kids to school because they ain't participating in this situation. My wife want to leave me over these things, man. My whole life is just coming to an end, and this motherfucker don't want to ever clean up the goddamn break room. I'm tired of this shit, man. Now he going postal at the job. You see how something small and petty as that could turn into such a big thing when the weight of all these other things is weighing down on these people, man. And these people don't have the faith, man. They don't even know what the hell is coming, man. We in a how do I say, a mind state of rejoicing as we see all these things. Of course, as the days get darker and darker and darker, there's a certain type of feeling that you get and everything like that. But, the thing that breaks us up out of that carnal thinking is keeping an eye on the Lord. The Lord is coming to deliver us, but, he has to shake things up before he can come and deliver us, right? So we're going to be straight, Lord willing, we are part of that number. But nevertheless, as you see these things so-called getting bad, all right, you can see how these things are going to just, how do I say, like I said, not going back to a normal, but they're going to just escalate to getting worse and worse and worse. So like I said, people are already looking around with the weight of the world on their shoulder and seeing that things is getting worse, or they're hoping for things to get better. But then you guys are the reason we can't go back to this. You guys are the reason for that. Hey, man, people are willing to blame everybody for anything right about now, man. All right, so this is what's going to cause these people to be, Egyptian against Egyptian, or neighbor against neighbor, co-worker against co-worker, and things like that, man. Because people, like I said, people are already on edge. Like the scenario I just gave about the dude flipping out at the break room. It wasn't because of the dude just keep leaving his shit out in the break room that the guy's mad at me. Yeah, he a little petty mad over that, but they've been working together for the last 7 years. This nigga been doing this shit for the last 7 years. What he got on his mind is kid can't go to school, wife left him, about to get evicted, can't get his medicines, can't get this, can't get that, and people ostracizing him and his family and everything like that. And now he has to think between his belief or what he believes in, all right, and being forced to do things that are submitting to this here system, man. All right, so now, like I said, which something as small as that, or hell, even road rage, man. You having people, these Karens, man. They got all kind of shit. You see how people are on edge right now, man. And all it takes is just a little snap and everything's just going to go haywire, man. All right. So as we read these precepts, it's not far-fetched to see how these things should just turn into an all-out battle royale, all-out chaos, man, and how it's being designed for these things, man. All right, you put a person in these types of conditions, all right, where you force them out of work. All right, you force their business to shut down. You force their business to shut down so long that they can't, they're going into debt and can't open back up. And you starting to give out all this here free money to where the companies, they can't compete with that pay that you're giving these people for just sitting at home. All right, so now they got to operate on half staff, half this, half that, and they're not bringing enough money to keep the lights on. You see what I'm saying? So now they're going to be out there starving. All right, they're going to lose their houses, and this is a trickle effect, man. So this is going to start turning that spirit, of hatred towards one another around in this whole place, man. In fact, let me grab that real quick while it's on my mind. Matthew 10:34 says, think not that, this is Yahushua speaking. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. All right. So look, these bullshit ass Christians, hey, like the scripture say, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord, for what end is it for you? Everybody's got this mindset that, Jesus is coming, to save everybody. Whoever believes, like if the Lord was coming to save the whole damn planet Earth, who gonna catch judgment? And who the hell is he saving you from if everybody gets saved, right? It's like the good guy and the bad guy, right? If we playing tag, right, and you got, we hiding, right, and they, hide and go seek or whatever, right? They the ones counting and we the ones hiding, and it's me and you, and the dude coming around the corner, and I'm like, hey, bro, come over here before he catch you. You know what I'm saying? How the hell am I trying to, and then, but now I go around, now, see, I'm helping you hide from the dude that's seeking us, right? But then if I tell you to come over here and hide behind a damn wall with me, and then the dude that's seeking us, I tell, hey, bro, come over here and hide behind the wall with us. How the hell am I going to tell the dude that's seeking, the people that's hiding and be on the same team? Like, we can't all be hiding. Who the hell is going to look for us, man? You see? It don't make no damn sense. So the Lord is not coming to send peace on the earth, bring everybody flowers. I mean, ultimately he is. But look, what nation have you ever seen get peace without war? All right, every nation that's gotten peace, they got it throughout war by putting these other nations in subjection around them. All right. It says, think not that I've come to send peace on the earth. Hey, just like between a parent and a child, man. You know, the child want to go off and rebellious and do whatever they want to go do, but the parents that set their rules. All right. They don't just by peace, you know what I'm saying? Oh, son, I love you. I want you to do this, this, and that. Now all of a sudden the son's mind has changed. No, they got to put down that discipline, you know. They got to go through that physical fight, more or less, to say, you know, not saying abuse your child, but you get the idea. You know, there has to be some type of, you know, pressure applied, all right, to bring peace into the scenario. All right, so when the Lord is coming to bring peace on the earth, it's got to be brought through applying this here pressure. So look, this is the spirit that the Lord is coming in, because everybody, you know, dwelling carelessly and lackadaisical and things like that, man. All right, so now the Lord is stirring things up, putting everybody in an uncomfortable position. All right, it says, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. All right, and we can already see how these things are being played out. You know, even on a carnal, not a carnal level, a lower level, you know, when, you know, as the minute of the Lord, we first come into this here truth, all right, and, you know, you may be around your family, your parents and things like that, and you start telling them about a couple different things and everything like that, and then all of a sudden, you know, y'all are at each other's throat. Oh, you got to get up out of here. You can't be talking about my white Jesus saying he the damn devil. You, get thee behind me, saying, you know, don't you come back around here no more, you know, or don't be telling me I can't eat pork, or I don't want to keep hearing about this doom and gloom and everything else like that. So for one, they already, you know, upset about you with that. Now, when it comes to the MOTB, and we try to bring that out to them, oh no, I got to do what's best for me. I ain't finna lose my job because you want to be out here being crazy. I ain't finna, who gonna be taking care of the kids and the grandkids? See, this is what's wrong with you now, you know? So you be believing too, you know? So we see how all these things are already separating, you know, parents from their well, you know, you from your parents and things like that. And then also, like I said, you know, you may want your child to not be participating in this, but then the mother of your child's like, nah, we got to go get this. Or, you know, they think in a different way. They don't have the faith like how we have faith. So now you and your wife is separated and things like that, man. All right, so we see how all these things are starting to draw people apart, man. All right, and even just on all types of levels, man. You having different spirits being put on the people, whereas, you know, you have sons against fathers. You know, oh, he got a gun in the house or something like that, and they just popping off at each other. Or when the toilet paper thing was, I remember it was this Jake who pulled a gun, I believe, on his grandmother because she was holding out with the toilet paper. All right, you seeing these mothers not, you know, getting tired of hearing the babies crying and stuff like that, or she want to go back out and have her hot girl summer, but she's too busy, needing to get a babysitter and everything, so she just kill the kids and put the kids in the freezer and shit like that, man. All right, these are the things that's already happening, you know, when there is no real pressure being applied, man. This is just over some little petty shit, but how much more when there's a scarcity of food, man? How much more when people have to really stand in the faith of the MOTB, man? All right, when they can't, you know, when especially when they have these lockdowns and like they already have laws being passed. If you see something, say something. If somebody in your family is radicalized, or you know they have mental health issues, and they got guns, or if they talk like this about the MOTB, or how much more when, you know, they paying off these people in the church to co-sign for the MOTB, and you're not really with that. And, you know, a lot of our women, they're, you know, your wife might go, your mother may go, your grandmother may go. Now she want to come back home and tell either the husband, the son, or whoever, grandson, about these things. Oh, my pastor said this, my pastor said that. You know, them women, they gonna stick to their quote unquote they pastor and everything, because he's always telling them things to make them feel good. So you can see how this division is being set up. So all it takes is just one little thing, you know. Oh, I ain't participating in this, and then you got somebody in your relative that's participating with this, and all of a sudden, you know, somebody at the job, there's an outbreak at the job or something like that, or you know, somebody around you gets sick and like, see, I told you, you better get that away. You can't, you know, they just flip it all out over these things, man. So it's easy to see how these things just start putting people, you know, at each other's throat, man. All right, verse 36 said, a man's foe shall be they of his own household, because these are the people that you spend the most time with. These are the people who really know you like that, man. Yeah, again, like the example I gave about Pete in the break room always leaving his shit out. I mean, you don't know Pete from another penny can. Y'all just work together, right? You don't really know where he live or nothing else about him besides him and the little bullshit he done told you. But that little bit of small stuff from you knowing him at work, that's enough for you to want to kill him, you know, off rip. How much more somebody you know, like a relative, man? This little nigga always been doing this and that. I always got to take care of him. I always got to raise their kids and do this and do that. Now they want to always be running around in the streets and doing all this stuff. I ain't got time for all of this, man. I ain't got time, you know, or they always think that they always trying to tell me what to do. They always think they better than me. And now all of a sudden, they pushing this here narrative. I'm getting tired of hearing about all this here stuff. We need to just go out here and participate. And y'all the problem out here. Y'all the reason that everything is shut down. Y'all the reason I can't go out to the club, can't go to the baseball game and the comedy tour because of people like you. And I'm tired of your mess anyway. So now let me go ahead and call the police on you because you got these radical mindsets and radical ideas and everything else like that. Are you talking about against the white Jesus? And what he say, the white Jesus say, you're supposed to basically be subservient to the governments and things like that, But nevertheless, these are the things that Yahushua is bringing up upon the earth, man. Setting people at variance with one another, man. All right, that love of many is waxing cold. All right. Let me just go through these two real quick, and we'll close out in 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 15-14, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." All right, so look, man, there's going to be a sword in destruction that's coming. All right, it says, one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. America has more guns than they have people here in this here country, man. All right, so again, we'll get into it down here, but, people losing their jobs, all right, people strung out over these lockdowns, all right, people strung out over the people who don't want to participate, people who want to, who's fed up with these people who keep preaching to them to participate, and then those people having their mind like, well, shit, the only people that seem to be getting sick is all you motherfuckers that keep participating. It ain't none of us. It's really y'all's the problem. We see this narrative already being pushed. You seeing Fauci and them talking about, hey, we got to do something about these people out here. Joe Biden talking about something. These stupid people out here, they're the problem. They're the reason. Pushing this here narrative, this agenda into the minds of these people, so that when they have they're in need of an enemy, a boogeyman, all right, you had the terrorists. America always needs a boogeyman to always make you feel like you're in danger, so that they can come out to be that Captain Save-A-Hole type person. As long as you feel like you're in danger, they're gonna always be there to quote unquote step in and save you. All right, now they all out. Nobody's scared of terrorists no more. Now they got a new terrorist. Now anybody walking around you could be a potential terrorist until we can get everybody to participate. And even then, we don't even know what these mutations and things. So whether it's, and you also have these people who have these regrets because they was lied to. Now they're going to start standing up against the government, man. All right. So again, it's a recipe designed for disaster, man. All right. This is how it's going to all end. There's no way of no turning around from all these things. How they say the people know too much already, man. All right. Verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes in the course of their actual stand in their power." We seen this at the Capitol building, all right, where they told them not to go down there, but they team wanted to go down there, man. All right, you seen these people saying, hey, look, y'all need a social distance. Y'all don't need to be gathering. They're like, nah, no more lockdowns. They taking it out to the streets, all right? Or people are protesting at their jobs because they're being forced to participate, and they're just having mass walkouts, all right, especially at these hospitals and things like that. So now you have less people working in the hospitals, less people to treat these people, meaning more people going to wind up dying, meaning that the blame is going to be, oh, well, see, it's these folks, it's people that think like this, and it's their ideology. They don't want to help out for the better cause of all these people. Hey, you see what's going on, man? It's being set up, all right? It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," all right? And you having things like different states are setting up different types of laws, like how they talking about these new mandates and the new lockdowns. We have certain states like here in Florida, like, no, look, we ain't having these mandates like that no more. We're not shutting down. We're not requiring nobody to wear these masks or anything else like that. So then you having, people like the president saying, look, what do you think about him? Well, shit, I think he should step down. Well, I think he should do something. Then you having people that's on his same side saying, yeah, he needs to step down. We don't need a leader like that. But then you have people from, the opposite color state. It's like saying, you know what? No, we like having our freedoms. You can't tell us what to do. So, hey, man, they may start shutting down these cities. All right, well, look, since they don't want to participate, we'll have to go ahead and cut them off, man. They don't want to play fair game. They want to so-called succeed from the union. All right, well, forget about them. Let them go do them. All right, we're going to just close up the borders. Or, hell, even if they don't succeed, like, well, we know this is a state where they don't want to, there's super spreaders out there. They don't want to participate. We'll just put checkpoints in on these states, and you can't come from here, just like in the beginning of the lockdowns, man. All right, there was from certain states, if you was coming in, they was not allowing you in. All right. Verse 18, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." Yeah, because of their pride, man. All right, once these things, all out chaos and protest and uprisings and, all these things start going down, hey, you're going to have people looking for food, searching high and low. All right, you're gonna have these militarized police officers going door to door, making sure you participate in pulling people out of their houses. All right, you're gonna have people that's gonna stand up against the so-called tyranny. All right, and they're gonna be trying to defend their family and things from these things. So it's gonna just cause all-out chaos, man. And if you can't see that these things are being shaping up around you, this ain't doom and gloom, but these are what the laws are being constructed for in these latter times, man. All right. It says, verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor and shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of a lack of bread and for great tribulation. So either of these two things, man, whether it be, a lack of bread, people can't eat no more, food prices going up, these people have lost their jobs and things like that. There's just a shortage where, scarcity of food and things like that, to where, hey, we got a shortage. You can only buy this amount of meat and so on. And so, yeah, we seen it with the toilet paper, man. All right, so look, these things like that can cause uprisings and riots and people stealing and killing from each other at the grocery store when it's the last bag of rice, man. All right, or if they see that you got food in your house, they can just run up in your house, man. All right, or just for a great tribulation, all right, because you got these lockdowns going on, and people going door to door and they just robbing and pillaging everybody's stuff. All right, because you watch these movies where these types of things start happening. Hell, just the movie The Purge, man, when people just want to get off, like, yo, y'all done took my life away from me, and, I feel a certain type of way. You have these spirits that's out here that's just, the minds of these people, they just want to go out here and get violent on a lot of people, man. All right, you have a lot of these men that's, how they call it, under-sexualized or whatever it is, where they're lacking from sex, and they seeing all these women that keep rejecting them all damn day long, day in and day out, man. They know where they live, or they know about their locations, or where about they hang around. All right, they're gonna just start running up into these places, man. All right, for all types of different things, whether it be the lockdowns have bankrupted them, all right, or just how you say it, the rise in food cost prices, man. All kind of different things, man. You out there to riot or a protest, all right, the things just get out of hand out there, man. All right, the Capitol building, all right, all kind of things like that from the top to the bottom. There's just a unlimited list of things right now, all right, that could cause any of these catalysts to go off, all right? Oh, shit. Let me go back. Second Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So like I said, man, the beginning of mourning and of famine, all right, because of the food shortages or the price of food going up, all right, or restaurants and grocery stores having a lack of certain foods they can get in, or how you say, not scarce hours, but shortened hours and things like that, man. All right, these different wars that's popping off. You have a different so-called attacks going on and bombings going on around the globe, uprisings going on around the globe. All right, all these different things are all a part of these punishments that's going forth on the earth. All right, it says, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for the amendment. But for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. All right, so because of the fact that these people want to, beforehand they were screaming fake news, fake news, fake news. But now it seems like, half the people believe in the news wholeheartedly, and the other half realized that they was lied to from Jump Street, and now they're being forced to do these different things, man. You even see it with the alphabet community, man. All right, somebody say something, I remember somebody, well, I ain't gonna say what they said, but they said that they not a part of the community. And they said that's pretty much hate speech. They want to cancel people over these things that was causing them to backlash because they losing out on money, man. All right, they don't understand that their whole house of cards is crumbling right before their eyes, man. So it's setting people off left and right. All right. Verse 21, behold, victory shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves in a good case. Even then shall great evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So, hey, not a couple months ago, everything was starting to open back up. People thought they was bouncing back. They was getting these little PPP loans and everything like that. Everything was all good. But now you're coming back down to these restrictions again. All right, people going to jail for these different lockdowns and everything. But they thought it was all getting good just a week ago. But now that lamentation, mourning, and this war is coming right back on around the corner again. Verse 22, many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right, so, hey, a lot of people are about to basically go broke and lose out, whether, they lost their job, all right, they lost their housing, got evicted and things like that, and can't get a job because they don't want to participate, all right, or any of these different things, or maybe they did participate, now they disabled, now their medical bills is going all up. All these different things, like I said, are causing, how do you say, putting people in places of difficulty or straits, man, causing them to have to live a complex life to where, these people are used to dealing carelessly and not having to think about different things, but now they have to make a certain rational decisions, when making their next move, man. All right, but nevertheless, all these things are all set up to bring about the end. All right. As a matter of fact, I'll close out with that in Jeremiah. This is gonna all end what we call Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 5. For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear, not of peace. All right. Everybody thought that we was going to be bouncing back after that 1 year that we just had. All right. Everything was getting back good. All right. But, everybody think they hearing of peace and everything getting back to normal. But things is actually getting worse than what they were before. You hear these people like Fauci and them talking about look, we about to be in a way worse time where we getting way more numbers than when we first found out about this. We ain't have no precautions, no stabbing jabs, none of these things. Things now are getting way worse than it was beforehand. So everybody thinking things is getting back sweet. Now things are getting worse than what they were before. All right. Ask ye now, see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces turn to paleness. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. So going into Jacob's trouble, 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're going to get put to death, but not only just Jake, you're going to have these Edomites as well going hand in hand with their own brethren, all right, Egyptian against Egyptian, and killing one another, man. All right, these women as well, too, man. All right, all these people that, refuse to hear the word of the Lord, that are, especially that, really that are Jakes and of the elect, well, they're not of the elect if they didn't listen, but nevertheless, of these Jakes, they're going to all wind up dying, man. All right, and the rest of these heathen, they were slated for death anyway, man. All right, but nevertheless, the point is that we're coming into a time now, where Jacob's trouble isn't a far-fetched or a, how do I say, some kind of conspiracy or something that's far off. All right, you literally see the laws being set up for these things right now. You literally see the conditions of these people and how they starting to bug out over the smallest little things, man. Oh, because I ain't get some fries or something like that, or my fries was cold, or I had to wait 30 minutes for my McDonald's. I'm about to just spaz and go ham up in the McDonald's and just start throwing milkshake machines and cash registers at people. Now people want to get from behind the counter and start fighting, so, hey, these people are ripe for taking it right about now, man. All right, and this is how, how things come to an end. All right, like the scripture say, and this gospel is going to be preached to the four corners of the earth. All right, then the famine of the word is going to come. After the famine of the word is going to come, you got that destruction that's going to come down. All right, and how does the destruction going to start out? Hey, man, we're going to start out with this here all out uproars of the people, uprisings and wars and rumors of wars, Egyptians against Egyptians, and Jacob's trouble, man. All right, so these things are all being set up right before your eyes. So, when you see these different laws being pushed, these new narratives and things like that being pushed, and see how it applies to enabling such of a scenario like the purge, man. Jacob's trouble. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth and ever will. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.